She eats nothing. She lies.
And Mom always liked this because she used to like to sing it. She used to like when we would sing it on Shabbos afternoon. Right? So you all know it. It's the famous Kapitel Tav Gimel, Psalm 23. Nizma LeDavid, Adonai Roi, Lo Efsar, Benos Deshe Arbitzeni, Amei Menuchot Shina'aleini, Nafshi Yeshove V'yancheni, B'magle Tzedek L'man Shemo, Gam Ki Elech B'geitz HaMoves, Lo Ira Ra, Ki Atoi Modi, Shiftecho, Mishantecho, Hema Yenachamuni, Taroch Lefonai Shulchan Neged Zodoroi, Mishantov Hashem Roshi, Kosi Rivayov, Achtova Chesed Yirdefuni Kol Yemei Chayoi, Mishavti Bebeis Adonai Liorech Yomim.
All right, Leslie, come on.
Dear Mom, you're gone a year. I can't believe it's true. My heart still aches because I really miss you. You're my little mommy, I called you, but small you could never be. Your positive energy and generosity brought great joy to so many, not just to me. I think about you every day. You're part of me, heart and soul, and feel so real. You still give me strength, sending me love. It's what I truly feel. I remember the beauty and efficiency of your hands, admiring how much they accomplish, successfully fulfilling all demands. No one could ever replace you. You'll be in our minds and hearts forever. Your wisdom, thoughtfulness, and sweetness will be forgotten, never. It's hard to believe we'll never hold hands or hug again in this world so sad. I just have to believe one day we'll be feeling so glad, together, feeling so glad. You'll always be a part of each of us and the sacred peace that will be. Just knowing this gives us peace and appreciation and also sets us free. You gave the best, priceless advice for those in need. So wise, so precious and caring, my best friend indeed. So many things I loved about you, Mom. My children and theirs certainly did too. I'm reminded how you loved talking and playing with babies and children. The wonder of you. Your meaningful Hebrew name, Batya, translates into the daughter of Hashem. How fulfilling and how appropriate, and now you can naturally be with him. Batya, our enemy's daughter, instinctively saving a baby. Moshe, what does that say? A holy and sensitive lady, unable to let harm come to an innocent, no matter, in any way. That's you, Mom. It's you. It's so, so true. Were you a little mischievous? Did you make my hair stand up sometimes, too? It was all heartfelt and worth it as your independent spirit came shining through. We are here now to celebrate your life as we glow in your honor and devotion. For you will always be remembered, your loving memories living into eternity with an abundance of blazing color and emotion.
I just wanted to say a few words. I don't normally do this because I can't really keep a straight face without crying, but Ira insisted that I speak because he thought when someone leaves us, a loved one leaves us, I think it's incumbent upon us to take something from their lives, our living lives, and continue that on. And over the past year in St. Kaddish for Mom, you know, Uncle Jack, and of course Grandpa, you know, in our shul they put all the 4 plaques together. I got them from the different boards, and they put them all together. And I couldn't help but think how each one of them has made a difference in my life. From Uncle Jack, from a guy who worked himself, who had the most incredible work ethic, and regardless of what he had in his pocket, he always was the first one to go to his pocket. we learn an incredible amount of, I can't even think of the word, but just, it speaks volumes for someone who's willing to pay for something even when they can't afford it. To my sister, Sandy, who we were so blinded by her weight and everything else, and we found out that her kindness went beyond those people who came to the various different services and to Shiva, and how she gave her whole life to help the blind and help people in need. Just goes to show you how blind we can be. And of course, Dad, who unfortunately, at the end, he went through, incredible amounts of financial distress, but in his prime, he worked 3 jobs. He supported, talking about work ethic, he worked three jobs. He worked till wee hours of the morning to support a family, and I take away from that work ethic that has made a big difference in my life. As far as Mom, I'm here today for going back and thinking about all the good things and lessons that while we're thinking. But Grandma never said a bad word about anybody. Grandma was the purest of life, no Lashon Hara. Think about how many people in our lives we could actually say has never spoken Lashon Hara. We were in the midst of a Sadekis in our lives, right next to us, that we were close to and hugged. That we read about our foremothers and everything else, and we had one right in our midst. And that's something that I think about all the time to take away from it. And at the birthday party this morning, just standing up there and looking at all the kids and look what our parents, Baruch Hashem, their legacy. I don't even know how many great-grand. I don't even know. I lost count. You're right. This is just a sampling of them from Israel and the Yiddishkeit. I guess that's the best legacy of all. So they should all be well, and we'll give the proper Hebrew Zichrono Livracha.
Is there anyone else that would like to say something? Any of the grandchildren? No pressure, as Judy says. Anyone? Carol?
Okay. My mom, my dad. As many of you know, as everyone knows, my first encounter with Mom and Dad were back in Florida when I came for Thanksgiving dinner. I think I told the story at the funeral, but it's worth repeating because there's a takeaway here and there's a lesson for all of us. I was at the dinner table, and after the Thanksgiving meal, I asked for a cup of coffee, and of course everyone has milk with their coffee. And so when I asked for a cup of coffee and said, what do you take? I take milk in it. After a Thanksgiving turkey dinner, the exchanges, the eyes were looked each other, and nothing was said. They got a cup, they gave me coffee, and they put milk in it. And it was such a testimony to Mom and Dad, especially Mom, who was the type of person that would love you for who you were. There was never a judgment, never a critique, never talked about. I mean, even as the months went on, she barely knew who I was or what my family was or where they came from or how much money they made or what they did. There was never a judgment. And she was like that way with everyone, and especially with me. She took me in wholeheartedly from the very beginning and just loved me for who I was. So I feel that the takeaway for me from that incident is that you should never judge someone by the cover of the book, because you never know what's inside that book. And Mom never judged anybody. She loved you for who you were, not for what you did or how much money you made. And when we're with someone and we may take a step back and say, look at that person. They're this size, or they're not tall enough, or they're not rich enough, or they have ugly shoes on, or look at their glasses, whatever. The takeaway is that everyone has something to share from their hearts, and we should never judge anybody by just the way they look, because Mom didn't, and that's something that I think we should all learn from and take away from. She loved us all.
She was the world to us.
Anybody else? Like to say something?
Ira, now's your chance.
What was the favorite thing she made, Ira? What did you like? Her best cooking? Frozen.
Okay. It's hard to believe that it's almost a year since we were all here when Mom passed away. And one of the things I was thinking about was, which is a question that is asked in the Gemara, why is it that with parents we mourn for a year and with other relatives we only mourn for 30 days? So among the answers that I came across were two of the following. All of the other people, we should never experience it, should never experience the death of anyone. But with the exception of parents, everyone else can be replaced. There's a replacement. God forbid a child passes away, there are other children, a sibling, there are other siblings, a spouse, there's remarriage. But a parent can never be replaced. When a parent is gone, it's impossible to replace a parent. That's one answer. So therefore the mourning expresses the uniqueness of what it means to have a parent and what it means to lose a parent. But there's another explanation. The other explanation is that while the love that we have for all of our relatives runs very deep, there's something about a relationship of a child to a parent which is unique. And that is that we owe to our parents more than we owe to anybody else. It's more than just the fact that they gave us life. Obviously, without our parents, we wouldn't be here. But it's much more than that. It's much deeper than that. There's a Mishnah in Adius that says that among the things that a parent bequeaths to a child, the Mishnah has an expression, Mispar Hadoros Shelafano, which means a parent bequeaths to their child a tradition, a past, an anchor, a root that defines who a person is, that in a sense gives a person a sense of mission. I am who I am. Yes, I'm independent, but I am who I am because of where I came from. And a parent is the one that links up a child to a great and sacred past. And there's no one else that can do that other than a parent. By how a parent lives, by what a parent teaches, by what they say to us. They're bigger than life because they connect us to something that's bigger than who we are and gives us stability and gives us confidence and gives us faith and gives us the courage to go on when life very often hits us from left field with things that we can't anticipate. So just like Leslie and Howie were thinking about, what was it, and Carol, what was it that was unique about Mom? So I have my own take on this. And Mom, I think, was a giver. I think fundamentally she was a giver. Now, in order to be a giver, in the real sense, everyone gives, but to be a giver by nature, and that's your self-definition, means that you're prepared to sacrifice yourself for others. And when I scroll in just my memory bank about Mom was always ready to sacrifice what she wanted